With the first pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Atlanta Hawks select.
As a kid, I used to always dream about making it to the NBA. I would lay in bed and let my imagination roam, and I would see myself in an NBA jersey in front of an NBA crowd. I'd go from riding my bike down to the basketball court in the middle of the street, to driving the basketball down the middle of the lane and dunking it. All in my head, of course. I even used to dream that one day I'll be playing in front of my hometown, New York City. Yeah, I'll be playing in Madison Square Garden, where all the legends played at. But instead of legends, it was me. The crowd was waiting for me to check in the game, ready to cheer my name. In my imagination, I'll go to the scores table and the crowd will be erupting. Matter of fact, I had the Knicks in the NBA Finals, and as I checked into the game, all the noise got blocked out. And in my imagination, I would check in, and I'll be focused. One task, one goal is to lead my team in a comeback attempt in Game 7 and bring the chip to New York. And as I exploded down the lane and dunked it, the crowd erupted once again. Everything seemed so vivid. It's like I could really feel all the emotions. And as I let out a scream, it hit me. This is where I wanted to be. I wanted the future to become reality. And well, it was time for me to get off that bed. You can only dream for so long. So I got up and worked. Sooner or later, I knew my imagination would no longer be an imagination. My time is now. Nice to meet y'all. My name is Justice Wells, but everybody calls me Juice. And my story really begins in 2003. Not only was this the year I was born, but it was the year my pops, Corey Wells, took over the NBA as a rookie. He had the newspapers, headlines, and everybody in New York City raving about him. One thing they didn't know is that he was torn between raising me and the NBA. And for the most part, I used to live with my grandma a lot. But all in all, me and my pops got a solid relationship. So much so that I decided to start my college career right here in New York. See, I was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and I had multiple offers, but I decided I wanted to stay at the crib so that my family and friends could come to all my games. In high school, my dad was the coach, but he got an offer to be the assistant coach of the Houston Rockets. So while I was hooping at Syracuse, he was still working in the NBA. So I would look in the crowd and never see him. But nonetheless, I was balling out my freshman year, got off to a great start. But unfortunately, less than halfway through the season, in a conference opener, I would end up tearing my left meniscus, which would force me to be sidelined and rehabbing for the next year. Tragic. I spent countless hours, days, weeks, and months in that gym with the brace over my left leg, working. And not every day was perfect. Not every jump shot went in. I could barely get lift. Eventually, I was able to come back to the team. My sophomore year was a wash, and I ended up being redshirted. They didn't trust my leg. And I took that some type of way. So I continued to put even more work in the gym. Character is what a man does. Nobody's looking. Well, I had enough character for me and you. But I decided I did not want to continue my college career at Syracuse. I wanted to go somewhere where they believed in me. That decision was easy. At the beginning of the 2023 and 24 season, my junior year, I transferred to the University of West Virginia to continue the Wishing Wells legacy. And boy, oh boy, were they excited to have me. And I was excited too. I felt new again. I felt even better than I was my freshman season. I was hitting moves that I had been practicing while I was rehabbing in the gym. For the most part, it was working. All those hours behind closed doors really paid off. Just like my dad, I couldn't get West Virginia too many wins. But regardless, my goal at this point was just to make it to the NBA, following my dad's footsteps. And after this game against Auburn, it was clear and evident that I was an NBA prospect. I dropped 30 points on efficient shooting. And throughout the entire year, I remained coachable, remained calm and focused. No distractions. And thankfully, no injuries. I continue to showcase my game to NBA prospects, and slowly but surely, I used to see more and more in the stands as the season came to a close. And I knew who they were there for. And after this dunk right here, I did all I need to do in college. I averaged over 23 points, averaged 4 assists, 4 rebounds. And as a 6'5" wing, I feel like I would be the perfect fit in the first round in the NBA. But of course, I'm not drafting myself. So I had to get ready to go out to the combine. When I headed out, I was informed by my agent that I can go anywhere from the top 9 to the end of the first round. It was all dependent on the team need. And scouts, they said my ceiling could be as high as Klay Thompson, all NBA. My floor could be as a reserve. At the end of the day, just give me a shot, and I'll take it from there. As the combine came to a close, I admit, I didn't really have my best showcase. I wasn't top 10 in any of the 3-point shooting drills, which is my specialty. But that's all I could do. The work has been put in, college is done, and now I await the NBA draft, which is going to be in Brooklyn. As the draft approached, the night before, here I go daydreaming again. And in my imagination, I was walking out to the crowd of Madison Square Garden. Yeah, what if the Knicks drafted me in the first round? And I walked in the same court, to the same crowd, in the same stadium, the same city that my dad did. One could dream, right? Well, draft night is here. And Adam Silver's getting ready to call my name at any moment.
With the 22nd pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select
At 22nd, I went to the Phoenix Suns in the first round. Was I a lottery pick? Of course not. But I'm here. In the Summer League, it's a chance for me to showcase all of my talents and prove the Phoenix Suns right for taking me in the first round. And I have to admit, early on, they looked completely wrong with this pick. So I couldn't buy a jump shot to save my life. I was out there struggling with threes, mid-ranges, and I even smoked a couple layups. Regardless, I figured I had to stay engaged. I couldn't even get lobs to go. The team was trying to give me the ball, as the Summer League roster didn't really have anybody that they were looking to keep on the roster, except me. And I still couldn't buy a bucket. So I stood at the free throw line scoreless in the first half. I could only imagine what the fans and the media were thinking. I already know I'm getting called all kind of busts and trash on Twitter. It's 2024. If you don't show out your first time you step on the floor, you'll waste the time. So in the second half, I tried to be more engaged and more vocal in hopes that would help fix my jump shot. But as I was talking to head coach of the Summer League, David Fizdale, on the bench, he reminded me, we ain't just drafted you for your shot, youngin. We drafted you for that defense too. And I said, bet. So as I was guarding Jaden Ivey in the second half, I was sliding my feet. I was the poster boy for all them high school AAU coaches doing them defensive slide drills. My feet never crossed, and I was in perfect position every time. I may have got a little too aggressive at times, but regardless, I was keeping Jaden Ivey in front of me. But this is how you know you're in a different level. He blew right past me, despite all of my great defensive tactics, and he scored on me. And the and one. And I finished my Summer League debut with 0 points. 0 of 8 from the field. I mean, you honestly couldn't have a worse debut. And we would end up losing the first game. But it's Summer League, and I ain't got no choice but to come right back and prove myself that I'm better than this. So in game 2, we played the Philadelphia 76ers Summer League, and I started off the game aggressive. I got fouled on the mid-range jumper to start off the game. I headed to the free throw line with one thing in mind. Can I get my first Summer League points, please? Thank you. As I hit the first free throw, it seemed like a weight was lifted off my chest. Not all the way, but somewhat. Still had a little chip on my shoulder. Felt like I had something to prove for sure. And I still need to make my first bucket. So I came off the curl, finally. Got my mid-range to go, give me 4 in the night already. And I wasn't done. I finally showcased my lethal 3-point ability, and in the fast break, I showcased my handle and my pull ability as well. This is what the Phoenix Suns were looking to get with me. As y'all know, the Phoenix Suns are an already established team, already making the playoffs with Hall of Famer like Kevin Durant on the squad. Devin Booker and Bradley Beal are at the guard position as well, so clearly I'm not coming in to start. But if I can give a bench spark with this shooting ability, I'll be perfect. You see, there I go getting way too ahead of myself again, because in this game, I started bricking. After having a hot start, I definitely cooled off in the second half. Thanks to my teammates in the summer league, they told me, listen bro, you the first round pick. Your spot already guaranteed. Just relax and hope. The stats gonna add up at the end. And they were right. I ended up finishing this game with 15 points, 4 assists, and 4 rebounds. While I shot below 50% from the field, it didn't matter. You know why? I laced them right back up for the next game. And the team told me that if I balled out this game, they was gonna rest me for the rest of the summer league so I can get ready for training camp. So I came into this game with one mindset: be aggressive and showcase all the talents I can. So I was getting assists, I was getting buckets, I was playing defense, and I was running the plays that were ran for me to a T. And I was finally hitting my shots at a better clip. As the game went along, it was coming increasingly obvious that I was the right choice for this team. I mean, shoot, you could tell that they was focused on me because they was running plays and sets where I was getting curls and pin downs that, no, realistically, probably not going to see when I get to the NBA for real, with all the guys on our team. But I'm taking in my moment. I'm really here. And with all the tools in the bag that I have, I felt like there was one that I was yet to show. So I rose up, punched it for the and one. And at this point, I done shown everything I could possibly show in the summer league, even my emotion, as I dunked on bro and told him to get out the way. But let me slow down a little bit before the summer league warriors come out on Twitter and remind me that this ain't the pros for real. Relax. Don't worry about it. I'm calm, cool, collected. So I knocked down this free throw to complete the and one. The huddles, I was attentive to the details. And the coaches told me, go out and get you a last bucket so that we could pull you for the rest of the summer league. And I did exactly that. Right before the end of the third quarter, I cashed out, and while they reviewed it, I already knew it was good. In the fourth quarter, I still ended up getting some cardio in, but finally, the coaching staff decided to take me out with about 3 minutes left. And we were already blowing the Sacramento Kings out. My job was done. I finished my summer league with 22, 5 assists, and 7 rebounds, not to mention 2 steals, completing my best game of the summer league yet. When I only played 3 games, that was all the team needed to see. As the summer moved along, I stayed healthy, stayed out the way, got an apartment down there in Phoenix, and I got ready for training camp. And my NBA aspirations are drawing closer and closer. It's October. The season is right around the corner. I made it through training camp, y'all. Clap it up for me. But really, feels like I've been living in a simulation. Like I'm really playing with Kevin Durant, the Hall of Famer, the legend, the guy that I grew up watching my whole childhood, even more so than my dad. I had to put my fandom to the side and lock in, because it's the last practice we got till game time. So I was running with the second team, and to be honest, we had Bobo, and he felt like a cheat code to me. That man could really shoot the 3 and handle the ball. I thought it was just the internet talking. And for me, y'all know I'm gonna get to the butter every time that I can. And being on the second team humbled me a little bit, because I got to see Devin Booker and Bradley Beal face to face, and they were cooking us as they should. And as for me, it felt like that first game of summer league. I couldn't buy a bucket, but this time, Bradley Beal took it upon himself to dunk on me in front of everybody in the last practice. And not only that, he hit me with the head tab emote. And the competitor in me was burning inside. And I have to admit to you guys, it was like ever since I got here, Bradley Beal is taking it upon himself to try to humble me, as if I was coming for his spot. Reality, I was. But today, I couldn't get a bucket to fall, so he got it, for real. And the first team was looking crisp, the ball was moving better. And as for the second team, well, eventually, I'll figure out my place. But practice wasn't over yet, And Brad was not done trying to put me in my place. And while I was there on defense for the most part, he found it upon himself to isolate me for about 15 seconds with a rock, score on me, and tell me I was too small. Just like every other competitor, your first reaction is to want to come right back with the same move. So I tried to do an isolation myself. Man, I figured, let me show Brad my bag work. Somebody must have poked a hole in the bottom of my bag, because it was definitely empty. So much so that he made me pick up my dribble and pass it. They gave it right back to me. And I said, bro, I got to put up a shot with less than 5 seconds left? Man, I threw up a prayer. And while it looked good, it was definitely a brick. And at that point, I just realized that Brad had gotten in my head right before the season opener. And I couldn't really afford that, bro. I'm already a rookie. But I had to put that to the side. As practice was over, and we headed on the team plane to the team motel there outside of Inglewood. And the night before, well, I couldn't help but dream one last time. This one was a little bit different. It was real. I flashed back to when I was 5 years old, watching my dad in the NBA Finals, playing for the Boston Celtics. Yeah. To me, my pops was one of the most forgotten about stars of the 2000s. See, after his rookie year in New York, he ended up starting, averaging over 20 a game. They didn't want to pay him in free agency, so he went to Boston to prove a point. And in his first season, they won a championship against the LA Lakers. The city of Boston loves him, but New York, they still haven't forgiven my father. But the reason I'm in the NBA today is because of him and the moments he created. He made a legacy for the Wells family, and now it's my time to lace him up for the NBA. It's my time to add to the Wells legacy. I'll scratch that. It's time for me to make a name for myself. And as Coach Bud called my name up to the scores table, and I got ready to check into my first NBA game, all the emotions rushed through my brain at once. And as I looked out to the court, I see all the big names and the stars. And while I'm far from being a star right now, it's only a matter of time before justice is served.